Hei! Enifin tekee taloudenhallintaa.
Tämä Blackwood oli aika eeppinen itse asiassa. Tykkäsin kovasti sitä lisäosasta ja niin kuin nyt tää suoraan jatkoa siihen, niin se on vielä eeppisempi. Nythän tästä voi vapaasti puhua, koska niin kuin ei ole enää, se on julkaistu tää peli, tää lisäosa. Ei ole enää embargoa niin kuin päällä ja muutenkin se oli, että vähän moraalisesti ehkä arveluttavaa puhua pelistä, jos se ei ole vielä niin kuin julkaistu tai lisäosasta. Noin. Pistetään chatboxi niin kuin piiloon. Ja tässähän alkaa niinku toi... Sori, ajattelen samaan aikaan kun puhuu. Niin, tää alkaa Fargraveista, mikä löydettiin tuossa aloitusskenaariossa. Tämmönen Oblivionin ulottuvuus. Mulla on tässä mun roolipelihahmo. Hän on Hand of Almalexia, mustahaltija. Ja tosiaan niin kun, millä mä oon pelaillut tässä viime aikoina. Ei ole tehokkain mahdollinen hahmo. Min maksattu.
The Anchorite! You're as bothersome as that damn Tremora. No matter. The votive rune is placed, and now you die.
You brought this on yourself, Dagonist.
Näin kaatuu velho.
But you, with the glowing hands, we have something in common.
Ankkuriitti.
If you're not a cultist, we should talk.
Hetkinen, sinä olet siis ankkoriitti, eli etkö sinä palvele Molagballia? Ehkä. Kannattaako tän kanssa nyt? No joo, tästä alkaa questi. Ollaan...
Bringing their Mehrunes Dagon madness to Fargrave. Their votive runes infect mortals with dark magic. I came to meet someone about all this
Dark
when I
magic.
spotted that cultist and my hands began to glow. Just like yours. This is Fargrave, a city in oblivion with permanent and open connections to other realms. The cultists place those votive runes faster than I can destroy them, putting every mortal who lives here at risk. That's why I agreed to meet with the Dremora. Lyrinth, the Dremora.
Aha, tää me
She sent me a
tunnetaankin.
letter. Said the cult threatened Fargrave. Nern, too. She wanted my help, but I can't deal with that now. The votive runes are clearly the immediate danger. We should work together on this. I can pay. I need you to talk to my contacts. Madam Wim's establishment is here in the city. Initiate Teal'go meets me in the burn, out in the Deadlands. See what they know about the votive runes and the cult's plans. Then meet me in the Fargrave crafting plaza. Really? All I know is that she's a Dremora who has an interest in the Dagon cult known as the Order of the Waking Flame.
Joo, ne on meidän pahiksia.
This is where we were supposed to meet, but all I saw when I got here was that cultist and the votive rune he was casting. No. The votives mess with mortal emotions, make everything more intense.
Huh.
I'm not sure why. Lyrinth said the magic in her letter would allow her to recognize me. I think that's what the glow was. If only I could get the Grasp to care about all this. The Grasp of the Stricture. They're an order of Daedra, mostly Dremora, who serve as arbiters and interpreters of the Stricture. A magical covenant that allows Fargrave to
Okei,
serve as
Fargrave
neutral
on siis
ground for all
neutraali
Daedra.
alue
They
Oblivionissa.
enforce the laws, to a point. Well, since mortals aren't bound to the Stricture, the Grasp pretty much ignores us, unless we interfere with the Stricture in some way. As long as the cult and its votive runes only threaten mortals, the Grasp simply doesn't care. Is it? I hadn't noticed. Look, we only just met. If you turn out to be trustworthy, I'll tell you the strange tale. If not, well, we'll deal with that if it becomes necessary. Perhaps. And maybe it's just a fashion statement. Now, go talk to Madam Wim and initiate Teal'go while I make my rounds. I need to check on my charges around the city. As a crossroads, it's natural for people from everywhere to wind up here. I check on the mortals of the city on a regular basis, help them as I can. That's why Wim calls me the Fool of Fargrave, because I care. And it's why I abhor the Dagonists. Then you know the cult is evil. They appeared recently, proselytizing in the plazas. Then they started placing those votive runes. Some kind of prayer to Mehrunes Dagon. But it intensifies mortal emotions. The runes... Madam Wim is a dark seducer who has her thumb on the pulse of Fargrave. Nothing happens here that she isn't keenly aware of.
Daedra myöskin.
She deals in favors and information for a price. And the more you seek her help, the more expensive her services become.
Nice. Mielenkiintoista.
Initiate Teal'go is a member of the Order of the Waking Flame. He was my friend before the cult recruited him.
Ah,
Turns out, Teal'go's had a change of heart. He's been providing me with inside information about where the cult plans to strike next.
no, me annettiin niille selkään Blackwoodissa aika kympillä.
Madam Wim runs an establishment in Fargrave called the House of Wims. Just be careful. She enjoys getting her hooks in new arrivals. You'll find Initiate Teal'go in the Deadlands, an area known as the Burn. The Plaza of Portals will take you there. The Plaza of Portals is one of Fargrave's most important locations. A series of permanent gateways to other realms in Oblivion. One of those realms is the Deadlands, the domain of Mehrunes Dagon. Glow seems to have faded, for now.
On ehkä tuon lemmikin pois. Galat. Skämppi, jolla on nimi. Joo, eli tää on Oblivion. Kaikki noi on jonkinlaisia taskulottuvuuksia. Tervetuloa Elder Scrollsin metafysiikkaan. Ne kuolemattomat oliot, mitä täällä asuu Oblivionissa, on Daedra. Se on niitten nimi. Tää kaveri on Dremora. Strixura Guard. Xivikyn. Fargraveissäkin on Outlast Refuge. Ja tää tässä on itse asiassa talo, minkä pystyisi ostamaan. Käytännössä niin kun, joo, pelirahalla voi ostaa, mutta yleensä ihmiset ostaa niitä oikealla rahalla. Sinne itse asiassa pääsee katsomaan. Mennään katsomaan ihan piruuttamme. Ketään ei ole vielä myynnissä. Eikä vielä nähdä sitä kalustettuna. Vähän tämmönen itämainen kautta Red Guard tyyli. Mutta joo, tää on ilmeisesti iso talo ja tänne mahtuisi ehkä, olisikohan 20 henkeä. Saattaa olla 12 hengen talokin. Eli sä saat niinku, jos sulla on kilta, niin 13 jää ulos, ellei se ole tämän paikan omistaja. Okei, siinä on tämmönen puutarha. Puutarha Oblivionissa. Ja okei, toi on aika isot kylkiluut. Toi näyttää siltä, että se olisi jonkun magnageen, eli ensimmäisten henkien niinku kylkiluut. Isoja luurankoja. Joo. Fargrave. Että minkä hauta tää on? Onko tää niinku ensimmäisten henkien hauta? Vai onko tää vaan Sakkentium Tower? Eli tää on niinku semmonen, minkä voi omistaa ja lesoilla sillä kavereilleen. Omistan talon Oblivionista. Tykkään musiikista kyllä. Ihan tunnelmallinen. Fargrave, okei. Nyt mä hukkasin ulos tuloni. Tässä on jotain vinkkejä. latausuuteen aikana.
Hurry, to the bazaar. The little trinkets are back.
Alright.
Why won't you all
Toi on
just leave
pelaaja.
me alone?
Nääkö?
Something terrible's about to happen. I just know it.
Okei. Cult of Faking Flame on ehkä...
You're looking to purchase one of my creatures? Well, no stealing them. That's non-negotiable.
Syöttää sumaa hevosta. Joo, siellä on ne. Ja täältä voi ostaa noita mountteja. Mä otan niin kutsun itse asiassa mun kumppanin tänne paikalle kans. Muillakin pelaajilla näyttää olevan kumppaneita. Eli tää on se... Joo.
Alright, so how much trouble are you in?
Aika pitkälti joo. Siinä on uusi lisäosa, niin paljon ihmisiä niinku pelaamassa tätä samaan aikaan.
No discounts for heroes, I'm afraid. Or villains. Whatever your ethical leaning is, no discounts. I send the money I earn from selling packs home to my mother. You understand.
46 tonnia maksaisi. Mä oon aika hyvin päivittänyt tän kasseja. Mä menen niinku tällainen turistimoodilla, koska niinku kaikki ei ole todennäköisesti nähnyt yhtään esosta peliä, niin mielenkiintoisia kasveja. Ytököitä kaikkialta mahdollista. Oblivionin ulottuvuuksia on kuulemma loputtomasti, mutta niitä saattaa... Tai 3 miljoonaa. Mitä tietoa nyt haluakaan uskoa. Sehän on, että niin kun tää peli niin... tästä ei ikinä tiedä, mitä pelin kehittäjät heittää sulle vastaan.
There's no point. No point at all.
All of you, stay away from me! Stay away!
Täältä löytyy kans pankki. Pankkiin voi pistää omat romut talteen.
Before you inquire, I am not planning on cheating you out of your money. We Daedra have more self-respect than you mortals.
Mulla on taas aivan liikaa mukana. Anteeksi. Mun hahmoni on niin kun sanotaan nyt, että ihan kohtuu hyvä, koska 752 levelillä. Että niin, sanotaan nyt niin, että on ehkä joskus tullut pelattua tätä peliä.
Disaster is coming! Stay away from me! Stay away!
There's no point. No point at all.
Okei, ehkä noi vaikuttaa ne kuolevaisiin. Mutta miten Dagonistit aikoo vallata tän, jos ne vaan pystyy vaikuttamaan noilla niin kuin kuolevaisiin? Ellei. Dagonhan on Daedra, mikä on kapinan ja juonien Daedra, niin... Okei, puhutaan Lady Oikulle. Madame Beam. Lady Oikulle.
The poor mortal succumbed to the power of the Daegonic votives. How unfortunate. But what's this? A new face? And what does Madame Whim always say? New faces bring new opportunities.
No niin, lataas nyt tekstuurit tässä.
Let's talk. Has anyone ever told you that you have
Onneksi se poistaa tää peli nää
incomparable
muut pelaajat ympäriltä
me?
tässä.
Most in this celestial palanquin we call Fargrave have the barest patina on their auras. But you, I know multiple buyers who would pay top price for a soul like yours. Shall we trade?
Katsotaan muuten.
She did.
Oh, upsita.
Has anyone ever told you that you have what? Poor Josette? She's one of my favorite regulars. At least she was, before the votives affected her. First, she became belligerent, then extremely melancholy. Now she's practically mindless. But tell me, darling, what brings you to Madame Whim's? She did she? All true, but I hate to brag. She's an unusual mortal, though, isn't she? Our darling of the alleys. And clever. She sent you so as not to increase her tab at the House of Whims. As a new customer, your first transaction is free. Ah, two topics on the lips of many a Fargravian. The Daegonists are mortal rabble with a fetish for destruction. The votive runes are prayers to their prince made manifest. Spells that seem to affect only mortals, like poor Josette here. An interesting question. Alas, I have no answer. But you're not the only newcomer to our fair city seeking such knowledge. My eyes about town tell me that Lyranth the Dremora has come to Fargrave. She's in the shambles, searching for Sister Seldina. You want more? I'm giving away an awful lot as part of your free sample, but I am feeling generous today. Sister Seldina leads the Daegonists here in Fargrave. She and Lyranth seem to have it out for one another, though I have yet to ascertain why. As the name implies, I trade in eccentricities and capriciousness. I buy and sell as impulse dictates. My establishment carries indulgences from across Oblivion. And information, of course, along with food, drinks, and an amenity for every appetite. Oh, the mortal on the floor? No, I don't believe so. The spell is quite potent. I suspect the votive runes have a darker purpose than simply elevating emotions and turning mortals into mindless husks. Pity the grasp refuses to investigate. The grasp of the stricture. They enforce law and order in Fargrave. The stricture is a covenant that binds all Daedra and allows us to operate somewhat in concert. Since mortals aren't bound by the covenant, the grasp tends to pay them no mind. An apt description, if somewhat inaccurate. They do enforce Fargrave's laws, but in ways that won't always be comprehensible to the limits of mortal understanding. Try not to commit any crimes in front of them, and they won't harass you. Probably.
Probably.
You came here without knowing, darling. How refreshing. Like an otherworldly conveyance, Fargrave personifies the existential concepts of transit or passage. It did start out as a strange nomadic realm, after all. That's part of the city's allure. It means if you want to travel the myriad corridors of Oblivion, there's no better launching point than fabulous Fargrave. In addition to our famous Plaza of Portals, the entire realm is littered with dimensional access ways. Plus, we have no prince.
Siis tää olisi syy, että minkä takia Dagon haluaisi vallata tän taskulottuvuuden itselleen, mutta kun se ei voi olla niin yksinkertaista.
Without a prince to set the laws and manipulate Fargrave's reality, we're free to shape this city as we choose. The freedom that affords us is sublime.
Eli tämä on Casablanca.
Plus, no prince means less chaos and violence in the streets. Rogue cultists notwithstanding. Aren't they beautiful? One of our best features. No one is quite sure who or what they were, but legend has it They once carried the city from plane to plane, hence the allusion to a palanquin. Is it true? Well, the skeletons are real enough. A personal query? That will cost extra, my darling. I am a Mezkin, what your kind commonly call a dark seducer. Unlike many of my brothers and sisters, I use my charms to beguile and entice for knowledge and profit. I have no interest in violence.
Mielenkiintoista.
A terrible place. I urge caution if you decide to venture there. It's a warren of alleys, tenements, and ruins, hidden behind thick walls. Many mortals live there in the most appalling conditions, but it can also be a good place to conduct business. Oh, innocent mortal. The kind of business best engaged in, where the grasp of the stricture doesn't reach. It's a perfect location to hide a Dagonist cult, seeking to cause chaos and mayhem. I'm surprised our darling of the alleys didn't mention that.
Deals with the Daedra, we don't discuss with the innocent. Sothasilla.
Darling of the alleys, fool of Fargrave, woman in the mask. Ever since the anchorite arrived in Fargrave, she's gone out of her way to help the mortals cast upon our shore, and she asks for nothing in return.
Epäilyttävää.
I know so little else about her.
Olisikohan se jonkun Daedra-prinssin aspekti? Tää huomioon kuinka...
It's rather rude of you to interrupt someone who is clearly quite busy.
Vanha Malsken. No tää on vähän huonossa kunnossa. Joo.
Now, what should we do with Josette? Hmm?
Lady Oikku. Tää on aina kun uusi lisäosa, niin täällä ei saa periaatteessa olla rauhassa. Monta muuta pelaajaa niin tekemässä samaan aikaan hommia. Tietysti se on vahvasti instanssoitu, mutta tää instanssi näyttää olevan kiitettävästi täynnä. Okei. Deadlands näyttää tältä. Deadlandsia ja Fargraveen sijoittuu tämä. Ei mikään ihme, koska siis... Aikaisemmin Eson lisäosissa on ollut kaksi erillistä aluetta.
Stay away from me! Stay away!
Burniin ja Leijaviiniin pääsee tosta ja Severiin. Yeah. Mukava paikka. Turistimatkalla nyt me vittin ratsastaa. Deadlands. Mehruunes Dagonin paikka. Burning Girl Keep. No, tänne sentään pääsee.
shouldn't be proud of that.
You're not the person I was supposed to meet. What do you want? Explain yourself, stranger. The Deadlands isn't a place for chance encounters. The Anchorite promises to get me away from the cult in exchange for information. I hold up my end of the bargain, and what do I get? Another fool, seeking knowledge from Portilgo. This is the last time, you hear? Make sure the Anchorite knows that. They don't tell lowly initiates all the details of their master plan. But I hear things. Sister Seldina wants to take over Fargrave. Make it an offering to Mehrunes Dagon. The votive runes play a part in that. Sister Seldina leads the Fargrave cell. She has a grand vision for the waking flame. It starts with Fargrave, but it doesn't end there. She wants control of the portals. With them, she can hand Lord Dagon all of Oblivion. Even Nirn would be in reach. The Dremora? She's practically all the Order's old guard talk about these days. Seems she's been causing a lot of trouble for Sister Seldina, interfering with her plans. Something's about to happen. Tell the Anchorite. Fargrave's in danger. The Order has camps throughout Fargrave and the Deadlands. Sister Seldina could be anywhere. But tell the Anchorite to check the shambles. Look for an abandoned building, someplace hot. I heard one of the Devastators complaining about the heat. If we were talking about the Deadlands, no. But the shambles is a different story. That section of Fargrave can't have too many places hot enough to make a Devastator uncomfortable. The Anchorite will figure it out. What? You assume every Dagonist is a true believer willing to do whatever their superiors tell them?
Yup.
I joined up because they promised me a better life. A way to escape the shambles. But they lied. The Anchorite agreed to help me, for a price.
Okei, päästään nyt vähän syvemmälle.
If Sister Seldina knew I was talking to you or the Anchorite, my life wouldn't be worth a scab on an Ogrim's elbow. I want out! Look, tell the Anchorite. She can find me at the Bearer's Rest in Fargrave when she's really ready to help an old friend. Tell the Anchorite I'll be at the Bearer's Rest. She owes me, and I expect her to honor our agreement.
Mielenkiintoista. No, tämä nyt ei näytä paremmalta elämältä. On ihan perus Guare, eli tämmönen lisko. Kaverille on käynyt vähän huonosti.
Let's ride!
Portaaleja. No. Jaa. South Fyrin kirjoittama kirja. Niin on näitä kirjoja, jos hyvä lukee kyllä. Trapped behind the mask she can't remove.
I didn't know you were interested in that genre. I'll have to remember that.
Mysteerikirjallisuus. Tässä paikassa on kauppiaita.
I am above you. If you will not afford me the respect I am owed, then I will not speak with you.
Siellä on jalokliviä. Tuossa on tapahtunut jotain. Jaha. Muita.
You want to converse before finalizing a purchase? How very odd. I will not talk to you except to exchange goods. Tell me what you would like.
Nää on niin kuin pelaajakiltoja.
See anything you like? If not, we're done here.
We deal in mortal goods from this plane and others, Nern included. Some complain that our prices are too steep. They're not the ones who have to import the items from a separate plane of existence.
I won't complain if you paid me extra.
Tää on joku
And
uusi
it
Daedra.
increases your chances of not being riddled with flesh wounds. Probably.
No niin, pätevästi kummituskauppias.
Daedra keep odd hours, and so do I. My shop is open all the time for my customers.
Right.
Are you trying to steal something from me? Take a good look at what's on offer. Make my day interesting, please.
Joo, kyllä.
It is safer for everyone now that mortals control the food supply here in Fargrave. The things Darza sells are much safer to ingest. Trust him.
Okei, eli kuolevaisesti se kontrolloi jotain asioita täällä Fargraveissa. Tietysti Daedrat ei syö. Niitä ei periaatteessa tarvitse syödä. Crafting-paikassa voisi hajottaa nuo vanhat esineet, mitä ei tarvi.
Puzzle without solution, living a life of seclusion. The fool of Fargrave feels your pain.
Nobody really knows her. No new recipes, I'm afraid. The grasp won't let me sell my creations until I can prove they won't kill anyone. Plenty of traditional foods available, though.
Some gleaners enjoy taking from mortals, but I can't think of what you could have that I'd want to steal.
She's the woman in the mask. A puzzle without solution, living a life.
Shambles. Reuna-alue. Okei, tää on aika iso paikka kans. Crafting-paikka on tuolla. Eli ne on tehnyt useampia isoja alueita. Ja.
They're coming for us. To run away. Well, no, I guess it will.
Eli tämä on paikka, missä kaikki yrittää pistää sut hengiltä. Tämä on craftauspaikka. Tässä on mun Dark Elfi, millä mä pelaan. Pistetään nää vanhat tavarat osiksi. Täällä tulee kuitenkin uutta settiä taas, niin. On tää Chaotic Creatiaa. Tyrkisti kaikkea mukana. Hetkin toi. Tämä. Voisin ottaa ton. Ja täällä on questeja kanssa.
I'm still here. Thanks for asking.
Contract with Daedra. Yksinkertainen palautustehtävä. Nää kaikki sielujalokiviä, toi on ainakin. Kun nää Daedrojen sielujalokiviä. Mielenkiintoista. Tästä tulee jatkuvasti uusia juttuja, niinku Mitkä pistää mietittymään, että mitä uutta on kirjoitettu tätä varten. Nees pitäis löytää.
I hope you're not the sort to interrupt those busier than you for no reason. Well, I don't have much time. Out with it. I am not shocked by this news. Mortals do not always know when to back away. This makes them exceptional employees, but does decrease their already limited longevity. You said you have the gem he was sent to retrieve? That's the trouble with mortals. Many don't have the experience to survive on the plains. Here, someone should have the gold that was set aside for Robier. I employed a few prospective creatures to retrieve more of these plain stones, but given how you discovered the last creature I sent, I do not have high hopes. If you come across more ill-fated employees, please bring the plainstones to me. I am under no obligation to explain that to you. We have no dealings, no contract or agreements. The only thing that ties us is that you returned what was lost. You are an admirable mortal. Do not misunderstand me. But Madame Wynne cannot favor you. Madame Wynne provides a service where she offers solutions to the problems of others. I would give specifics, but that is against our confidentiality agreement. All you need to know is that the
And they are
service she performs for Fargrave is legendary.
Tietää asioita.
I am one of her assistants. Hezek is another. We handle clients with less complicated problems, so that she can focus her attention on more prestigious or troubling cases. I suspected that might be the case. I have yet to meet a mortal who could curb their inquisitive nature. I have no delusions about anyone's chances of survival out in the Deadlands, mortal or otherwise. Madame Wynne only pays individuals for completed deliveries. There was no harm in letting a mortal attempt it. I sent many individuals after many plainstones. I would have been foolish not to. The Deadlands are not civilized, for lack of a more accurate description. Even Daedra did not make it out of that realm intact.
Interesting. Crafting plaza.
Wherefore find you life? In truth, your answer matters not. Though I am told that a pinch of talk before a sale leads to congeniality. Which, from this expanse of vitals and tools, willst thou?
Disaster is coming! Fargrave is doomed!
There's no point. No point at all.
Mara's bosom, he's a dull one.
Hmm. Fargrave Crafting Plaza. Okei, nyt mulla on paikassa. Täälläkin pystyy craftaamaan.
Over here, friend.
Lord Dagon will visit disaster upon this ash.
These new Dagonists are barely worth the effort. I followed them into the plaza and destroyed the votive rune before they even noticed I was there. And the Grasp decided to get involved, finally. Hey, did you learn anything from my contacts? Madame Wim didn't charge you, I hope. She usually lets you sample her wares for free the first time. After that, it gets expensive. The Shambles is a big place. But now we know more than we did when we started. Did you also make contact with Teal'co? Hot? In the shambles? Must be the old baths. The furnaces beneath the bathhouse have been burning forever. But what was that about the votive runes? How does Sister Seldina plan to use them to conquer Fargrave? Damn it! No one is going to conquer Fargrave if I have any say in the matter. I suppose we need to investigate the old bathhouse. If we find Sister Seldina, maybe we'll find Lyranth too. Let's meet in the shambles. We can discuss our options there. Once we enter the shambles, we can work our way together to the old bathhouse. The shambles can be a dangerous place, but it's also where the majority of Fargrave's mortals live. Warrens and dark alleys fill the area. There are 3 main paths through the shambles. We can take any of them to reach the bathhouse. And I said I'd tell you, once I was sure I could trust you. Let's find out what's waiting for us at the bathhouse. Try to make contact with Lyranth for Dremora. After that, we'll see.
Susi. Dagonin riimu.
Just that it's mostly abandoned. Hasn't been used by anyone but squatters
Tää
and vagrants
saattaa olla
for
yksi
years.
ambitioista.
It's isolated at the northern end of the shambles. Easy to secure and unbearably hot. The perfect location for the Dagonist leaders to plot and scheme.
Move, mortals, flee!
You will see. Lord Dagon will devour you and your city.
Be silent! Your prince has no power here.
Tätä voisi itse asiassa ihan piduttaa syödä.
Choose a direction. East through Skane Row, through the Western Warrens, or directly north through the central plazas. Be wary of the Spiderkith. They consider any mortals who enter their territory to be prey.
Spider. Aha, joku on tappanut sellaisen. Counterfeiter's lair. niskat löytyy.
Problem, Sarah?
Tää on light-armoria, mutta on silti parempi kuin toi entinen.
Alright, don't cry for mummy. The main door is sealed. Let's see if we can get in through the courtyard. We're not getting in through the main door. Luckily, I spotted 3 potential entry points. Another door to the east, a cave to the west, and a bridge overhead that connects to the roof. One of those should lead to the bathhouse courtyard. That door leads to the courtyard and isn't warded. Can you pick the lock? I never met a building with only a single entrance and exit. Let's look around the courtyard. There's got to be another way to get into the bathhouse. Because it's a big building, and big buildings always have multiple exits and entrances. Besides, we didn't come all this way to be defeated by a magical seal on a bathhouse door. Let's search the courtyard and find another way to get inside.
What's the point of building great houses for your gods? Do people really think the gods can't hear them if they don't pray inside a stone building?
Tosiaan niin kuin tänä kaupassa pystyy, nämä on oikealla rahalla, pystyy niin kuin hommaamaan. Lootboxeja löytyy myös.
That opening in the rocks. Maybe we can reach the caves below and get into the bathhouse from there. We should be able to find a way inside through the undercroft. It runs beneath the bathhouse. Another ward. I think we can get past this one though. I have an idea. Unlike the door outside, this area contains everything we need to disrupt the magic sustaining the ward and dispel it. I've seen the Daedra use these crystals to do all sorts of things. I spotted a lucent among the debris in this hall. It's a daedric crystal that can absorb and store the background energy that pulses through all the realms of Oblivion. We'll need that to get started.
Okei, eli Oblivionin ja niiden Daedra-pinssien energiaa voi tallentaa kristalleihin, jolloin niissä on niinku sitä juuri sitä jerkkua.
Then take the lucent to the dynamis font over there.
Dynamus.
That background energy I mentioned? The font absorbs it. Place the lucent on the font, and it will fill it with the charged energy. Finally, insert the charged lucent into the discharge labrum beside the door. That will release the energy from the crystal and disrupt the ward. That's the idea, anyway. I've seen the Daedra do all sorts of things using lucents, fonts, and labrums. Remember, find a lucent, charge it in the dynamis font, then place the charged crystal in the labrum beside the door. Once you understand how lucents function, you can use them to accomplish all sorts of things throughout the realms of Oblivion. As I understand it, lucents form naturally in the void and occasionally rain down on the various realms. Some say they're actually crystallized bits of Oblivion. Who knows? I've seen Daedra gather them, charge them, and make use of their energy. Well, as long as you have Lucent, a dynamis font, and a discharge labrum, you can use the energy to open gates, ignite furnaces, operate torture devices, all sorts of things. We're going to use it to overcharge the ward on that door and dispel it.
Mielenkiintoista.
Look, I just observed how the Daedra use them. The dynamis font is sort of like a spring. Instead of water, energy wells up. Could be an atronach trapped in there. Or maybe it's the ambient dynamism that flows through the space between the realms. I'm not a Daedric scholar, alright? I just know what I know. Dynamism. I heard the Dremora talking about it at Madam Wim's. It's what some call the energy of oblivion. Or the energy in oblivion? It's confusing, but it's energy that we can use.
Joo.
Basically, when you plug a charged Lucent into the labrum, it releases the energy stored in the crystal. Most of the labrums I've seen are integrated into some larger mechanism. I'm not sure what this one was originally used for. You could, but you'd also get a destructive explosion. Better to control the release by using the labrum. Besides, the Lucents can be used over and over again, but not if you shatter them.
Pointti. Okay.
That's definitely a Lucent. There is... Now take the Lucent to the place the Lucent in the dynamis font, and it should fill it with energy.
Tämmönen näin.
That did it. Look how the crystal crackles with energy. Now place it on the labrum. Insert the charged crystal into the labrum. It worked! And now you know how to use a charged Lucent. Let's see what's behind that door.
Se on kuuma. Again.
I see my spell brought the help I requested, but I didn't expect there to be more than one of you. Ah, my simple spell finally yields results.
Huh.
I was hoping it would bring you to me again, little mortal. I do so appreciate working with known quantities. But who is this other mortal who also carries my glowing brand upon their flesh? The Anchorite. An unusual appellation, even for a mortal. You must be wondering why I summoned you and then failed to be on hand to greet you. When I heard that Sister Seldina had arrived at their headquarters in the Shambles, I had to act quickly. You can plainly see that I did not. Finding this location took more time than I expected, and even then, getting inside has proven difficult. But now that we're together, I suspect we can make short work of any obstacles and locate Sister Seldina. My reasons are my own, little mortal. Suffice it to say, I want to determine how Sister Seldina plans to utilize the votive runes to seize control of Fargrave. She wants to use its many portals as a gateway between the Deadlands and Nirn.
Tuo on hirveän yksinkertainen.
Even a Dremora of my talents cannot hope to stand alone against the Dagonists and an army of living disasters. I seek to learn Sister Saldina's secrets. You want to protect the mortal realm from total destruction. Together, we can accomplish both.
Mä tykkään tosta ajattelusta.
She's smart and ruthless. A powerful combination in a mortal. She commands the Dagonists here in Fargrave and oversaw the creation of the Cataclysm. With that device, she plans to create an army of living disasters to unleash upon Nirn.
Oiko kiva.
Daedra empowered to unleash destruction upon the mortal realm and make it easier for Mehrunes Dagon to conquer Nirn. Did you know he's tried before?
Joo.
Dagon broke an agreement, and the doors between the Deadlands and Nirn were sealed. He can't use them.
Mielenkiintoista. Eli 2920 Last Year of the First Era kirjasarja Elder Scrolls onlineissa ja muissa peleissä kertoo siitä, kuinka niin kuin, yksi tarina on se, että kuinka niin kuin Dagoni hyökkää ja tuhoaa Mournholdin, mikä on mustien haltijoiden pääkaupunki. Tekee sen välittömästi sen jälkeen, kun Sothasil on periaatteessa estänyt, eli mustien haltijoiden puolijumala on estänyt sen, että mikään Daedra-prinssi ei pystyisi täydellä voimalla ilmestymään Tamrieliin, Nirniin. Niin nyt tämä implikoi tässä näin, että siinä oli jonkinlainen rangaistus siitä. Noniin, arvasi.
So-called living gods of the Dark Elves supposedly made a pact with various Daedric princes to protect Nirn. I don't know the details, but Dagon broke the pact. Sothasil slammed the doors and closed off Dagon's connections. Everything about Sothasil's pact is rumor and speculation. So that is what I hope to determine. And I want to examine the Cataclysm. The attack on Fargrave could begin at any moment. Shall we enter the next area and see what Saldina is up to?
No, it vanished again.
The spell has run its course. The glow will not return. Now, to deal with this ward. Come, I sense activity in the chamber beyond.
The Dremora again. Well, you're too late. The ritual is almost complete.
You leave.
Dagon's blessing reverberates among the votive runes. Soon a wave of destruction will sweep over Fargrave and destroy the
We can
Daedra.
do this.
Stop! The ritual must destroy the Daedra.
Mortal, destroy the votive runes.
On jo tekemässä.
Flame, protect the votive runes.
Hyps. Ja näitä vai?
All that work ruined. You will pay for that, Dremora. You and your companions both.
Sister Saldina got away, and we're right back where we started. Nowhere.
Nowhere? How quickly mortals succumb to despair. Let's talk in the next room. Take a moment to look around. Sister Saldina departed in haste. Certainly she left something behind. I did not think Sister Saldina capable of performing such a powerful ritual. You did well, mortal. A few more moments and the magic would have exploded across Fargrave, leaving the city defenseless and destroying all of the Daedra, including me. Yes, but she fled in haste. That means she probably left something behind. Let's search this bathhouse. Bring me whatever you find. Sister Saldina's abandoned paraphernalia may be of use to me, and it may tell you more about the threat to Nirn. From what I could devise, the votives elevated the emotions of mortals in the city, siphoning the energy generated into Sister Saldina's ritual. She planned to use that energy to destroy the Daedra, including the Grasp, leaving the city defenseless. That would accomplish nothing. The Daegonists are experts when it comes to disappearing into the shadows. Sister Saldina will pay for her various insults soon enough. For now, see what she left behind when she fled.
I hate that we let Sister Saldina slip through our fingers, but Lyran's right. She probably did leave something important behind. Let's look around.
What did you find, little mortal?
Teleporttautuu 5 metrin matkalta.
Tell me what you found, and I shall determine if it has any significance to my quest, or to yours. Nor can I. And while your literacy may be in question, mine certainly is not. This is no language, mortal or Daedric. It is written in code, one used by the Daegonists for their more guarded correspondence. No, and neither could any lowly recruit we captured off the streets and tortured for information. This code is reserved for the Order's elite. We'll need to find someone who can decipher it. I'm sure Fargrave must have someone with those skills. We should leave. The cult's forces may have scattered, but no doubt Sister Saldina will send a force to try to deal with us. We should not be here when they arrive. Perhaps the Anchorite can suggest a place for us to meet up, safe from prying eyes. What I seek still eludes my grasp, so our business is not yet concluded. You ought to be grateful. I can be a powerful ally, when the mood strikes me. I will meet you back in Fargrave. I'm sure the Anchorite knows someone who can decipher the code.
Let's meet at the inn in Fargrave. Bearer's Rest. We can talk privately there.
Kun elämä antaa sinulle sitruunoita.
I don't want to hurt you, but now I'm going to.
Siinä on toi Sky Swordi. Niin mun täytyisi jotenkin päästä tonne ylös eka. Menee kiertämiseksi. Tästä tulee noita taitopisteitä. Yksi vielä pitäisi kerätä, niin saa taitopisteen. No niin, sitten. Tästä pääsee näin. Outlast hideoutiin jossain kanssa. Siinä. Salakuljettajia. Kaikki yrittää olla maksamatta veroja.
I prefer to do business with individuals who are a little more deathless, but I'll make an exception for you. What do you have for me?
Kirja. Cleaner.
Sell your goods or don't. I don't care. Take what isn't yours here, and you'll pay for it with your life.
The drain carries it all away. Internals, externals, there are only material goods of the now and memories of the future. Look at both, but don't lose yourself.
Nää on kyllä parhaita nää kauppiaat täällä. Tarpeeksi outoja.
Another worm interrupts my bookkeeping time. Well...
Pankki. Hetkinen, tosta pääsee ylös.
What do you want? Tosta pääsee ulos.
Joo, pieni tauko tässä vaiheessa. Jonkin aikaa menee tässä tauko. No niin, takas. Joo, heti on enemmän ihmisiä, kun on vähemmän vahvasti instanssoitu. Luukauppa.
So you really came all this way to stop King Flame from destroying Fargrave?
Something like that. An unusual city, Fargrave. They say those huge skeletons are all that remains of the beings that once carried it from place to place. This inn is named after them, I believe. But why are you speaking to me? Ask the anchorite about a codebreaker.
Codebreakerista. Pitäis kysyä.
I don't know what I expected, but it wasn't that. Finding the leader of the cult, watching as she almost completed a deadly ritual, and then allowing her to escape. I never fail like that. And all we have for our trouble is a coded message. Maybe this is Fargrave after all. The city connects to everywhere. Madam Wim must know someone here who can help us with that. In the meantime, we made a deal, and I always honor my commitments. Here, you earned this, my friend.
Little mortal, attend me. We have unfinished business, mortal. The encoded message you recovered from the bathhouse. That may be the key to determining the Waking Flame's next move and revealing the secrets I'm searching for. We must find someone who can decipher it.
Okay.
The masked mortal has the right idea. Fargrave sits on the threshold to everywhere. If there exists a being who can decipher this code, we will find them here. I'd prefer it if we could find someone other than Madam Wim to deal with, however. I have heard of the infamous Mazkin who calls herself Madam Wim. I find her practice of turning gossip into profit to be loathsome. But even a filthy Daedrat has its uses, I suppose. Take the note to her and pay whatever it costs for a translation. Go to Madam Wim's establishment, the House of Wims. Show her the encoded note and tell her we need it deciphered. I will meet you there. To make sure we have her undivided attention, and that she understands this is more than a mortal's request. We know of each other. Perhaps our paths have crossed over the millennia, perhaps not. Wim has changed her name and appearance multiple times, or so I've heard. I have no doubt she will do so again, when Fargrave no longer amuses her. You saw what I saw when we first encountered Sister Seldina at the Waking Flame Conclave. Her infernal device can transform Daedra into incarnates, living disasters of immense power.
Tämä oli aloitus
They
seikkailussa.
threaten Nirn, so you should hope I learn everything I can. We learned that Sister Seldina tried to use the votive runes to steal power from the mortals. Power she hoped would destroy the Daedra and allow her to conquer Fargrave. We stopped that plot, but this realm's many portals are too enticing to ignore. They are persistent, if nothing else, these Daganists. If they truly want to unleash their incarnates on Nirn, using Fargrave's portals makes the most sense. The hope, slender though it may be, is that the encoded note will tell us more.
I'll meet you at the House of Winds. I can help with the negotiations.
We have some fascinating accoutrements in, if you have a mind to take a look. Lockpicks, tools, medical drams. Accoutrements. Learned that word from my fiancée.
Huh. Rosvotyössään. Tämäkin voisi varastaa tietysti.
You there. The Grasp requests your aid. Mortal, you seem more capable than most. The Grasp of the Stricture has a task that you may be able to assist with. The apprehension of mortal criminals. I understand your kind enjoys material gain. I can pay you for your help. A band of mortal thieves tried to steal a large quantity of the drug known as Red Maiden. When I attempted to apprehend them, they ran to the Plaza of Portals and fled into the Sever. You must search the Sever for these criminals and bring them back to me. Their leader's name is Bach. He went through the portal last, and therefore should be easy to find. He is a cunning mortal, but he and the others cannot have gotten far. Return the criminals to Fargrave once you have apprehended them. I find it hard to believe a mortal such as yourself is ignorant of such a substance. Your kind are always scrabbling for it. Red Maiden is a drug. When regularly ingested, it can anchor a mortal to Fargrave just as a pact with a Daedra would do.
Ah.
To prevent a sickness called the Drain, your mortal minds are not meant for the complexities of Fargrave. Occasionally, mortals experience decay. Some become violent, others begin to drool. Ultimately, they will succumb to it and die. Red Maiden is a rare commodity and difficult to produce. Mortals would tear each other apart for it if it was not strictly regulated. Not every mortal contracts the Drain, but many fear the very possibility and will do anything to acquire the drug. A foolish group of mortals, nothing more. They have been in Fargrave for a few years, always skirting the lines of the stricture and eluding the grasp. They are close friends and look out for one another. It makes them difficult to rein in. No, they have never been so bold before. Perhaps they grew bored of petty theft and being a nuisance. I could not say. Many of their transgressions have been too small for the grasp to interfere. Not this one. Indeed, they will find it much less forgiving than Fargrave. If they manage to survive the lightning and the tearing winds, they will need to contend with the wildlife. The Sever is not a gentle place. Be cautious when you venture there. The grasp interprets the stricture, that which binds all Daedra in Fargrave. It keeps order by effectively turning the city into neutral ground. We are the law, to put it in your terms. We make sure citizens adhere to the strictures. Our influence does not extend beyond the dunes of Fargrave. The strictures are not concerned with the domain of the Prince of Destruction. They are now beyond my reach, but not yours.
Hevlet Hexos.
Foolish squid. Guards! Detain this scoundrel.
Täällä on töitä.
So many new faces in Fargrave. If you need work and can handle a weapon, we should talk. As a representative of House Hexos, I assure you that this is all above board. Oh, I don't handle jobs. Think of me more as a scout for the organizations in the city who hire adventurers. Speak to Luna Burial or Vavelli Indivel. They hire mortals and Daedra for dangerous jobs on a daily basis. Well, if you want to work alone, see Luna Burial. Vavelli Indivel of the Sarathu Tong also provides jobs, but they're dangerous. You'll want a group to deal with them. Luna Burial has jobs that you can handle on your own, and Vavelli Indivel trades in tasks that require groups of adventurers. Regardless, yes, I'm a member of House Hexos. Since you made it to Fargrave, I'll let you in on a little secret. My house gave up its claims in Tamriel centuries ago for a lucrative position in the Celestial Palanquin. But even I'm not privy to all ours. Well, you don't get to be the foremost mortal family in a multi-dimensional Daedric city without being betrayed a few times over the centuries. We thrive because my ancestors were cautious, and that's still a family trait to the current day. Oh, I don't handle. You're a wary one. Luna Burial represents the Gleaners, a group of... how do I put this? They're thieves. Oh, not the kind that robs from Fargrave. No, they retrieve items from elsewhere for interested parties in the city. They hire lone adventurers to help with that. Vaveli Indivel represents the Sarathu Tong, a syndicate of outcast mages who control a lot of trade in the city. Between their business dealings and research projects, they require groups to take on jobs too dangerous for
Danmer eli mustien haltijoiden kieltä tuo.
Yes, consider it a test. House Hexos serves as a bridge between Fargrave's mortals and Daedra. If you can't keep a minor secret, then we can't recommend you to other organizations.
There's always opportunities in Fargrave for the ambitious and skilled. Take a contract with the Sarathu Tong, and you won't have to fight everyone else for work.
Eiku haalu toi jo.
Those fist-burning Daganists left drugged prisoners outside Taupezu Azida, a Manticora's lair. Sinise Valno scried for them in the guild hall and recognized a few of the prisoners as Tong operatives. Here's a quick cordial. Give it to them. But don't just save the prisoners and come back for payment. No, this job isn't done until you kill Taupezu Azida and show those kin-cursed cultists what happens when someone crosses the Sarathu Tong. The Sarathu Tong does not pay for time spent on a job. Dragging your feet will get you no favors. Mages who owe fealty to the great house Faru. We transport wares and folks between Fargrave and Nern. In a trade city like Fargrave, you can see how useful that is. Most merchants prefer working with us over, oh, I don't know, a cult.
Kamonna Tong, mikä on niinku rikollissyndikaatti Tamrielissä, niin se on itse asiassa, se on kans halaalu. Morak Tong on metsästäjien kilta, eli salamurhaajien kilta. Se ei ole halaalu kyllä, mutta on ollut alun perin itse asiassa.
Whomever builds the bridges sets the price of the crossing. Other groups in our position might not be as successful, but no one else has perfected transport across the plains. We're very specialized. Not everyone in the Tong spends their entire day working on the magics we've already discovered. The Tong supports artisans and scholars alike, who tend to have projects suited for different skill sets. That's where adventurers come in. Heard all that, and you don't want to work for the Tong. Figures. House Hexos is the largest group, but there's also the Gleaners of Erebus. You can talk to Hewlett Hexos or Luna Burial if you're interested. Hexos is reliable, and we've done enough business with the Gleaners to keep their thieving hands away from Tong property. But the Errant, that's what the others are called, are a selfish bunch. They're pactless, and that makes them death. We all serve different purposes. Hexos deals in goods across the plains. We're more magically minded. The Gleaners are useful for all covert operations. And the Errant, disorganized though they may be, give mortal structure. Fargrave's complex. Mostly higher-ranking members will be the ones with jobs. Take Varus Stradane, for example. He's a high-ranking mage with a number of dangerous experiments underway. But anyone can request the Tong assign an adventurer to their project. Me? Ha! If I ever needed to send an adventurer out, I'd just go myself. It wasn't too long ago when I was in your position, taking assignments from someone else. I learned that walking away from an enemy doesn't mean that you don't lose too. The plains are filled with the worst monsters and creatures the princes can think of. Don't take these challenges lightly.
I have a keen eye for spotting reliable adventurers in need of some extra work.
Uh-huh.
It's one of the things I'm known for. So, are you the sort of person I think you are? A reliable adventurer looking to make a bit of gold? Drops were made to our 3 designated sites in the Shambles. Dahlia let us know about the drops, but she needs to lie low for a while. She's usually at Madame Wim's if you want to talk to her. Just make sure you're not followed. She's in hiding. We've had some trouble with fences lately. A thief got it into his head to steal from them, and now they're going after any gleaner they recognize. I need someone new to get these goods before someone else steals them. Are you in? You'll be paid. Oh, you get to head out on an assignment. We're a group of mortals and Daedra that do all sorts of things in Fargrave. We liberate items from across the plains for interested parties, explore hidden places, find treasure, vandalize. One thing I can say is that the work never bores me. Yes, but not just any sort of thieves and spies. We're extra-planar thieves and spies. In addition to utilizing Fargrave's public portals, we also have an arrangement with the mages of the Sarathu Tong for when we need a special portal. They're a group of dark elf mages that were cast out of Morrowind for some offense or another against the tribunal. They came to Fargrave and used their expertise at portal magic to supply House Halalu with trade goods from across the multiverse. Sometimes we need to go somewhere not readily connected to the portal plazas of Fargrave. Or we need to reach a specific location quickly and quietly. That's when we turn to the Sarathu mages. And when they require our expertise, we reciprocate. Some of our biggest clients are the movers and shakers of the city, and we tend to avoid pilfering in our own backyard. Plus, the Grasp don't care. As long as we keep a low profile and don't make a spectacle, the Daedric authorities leave us alone. Me? Oh, I used to be a thief, but now I use my expertise to find talent and coordinate jobs for our clients. Besides, I love talking to adventurers, new arrivals and longtime Fargravians alike. Well, we usually have more work on hand than we have dedicated operatives. Besides, some missions involve dangers better suited to experienced adventurers instead of the specialized rogues who make up the core of the Gleaners. Well, it's not something you can just apply for. Invitation only, you understand. And that invitation has to come from one of the higher-ups, such as our founder, Piron Descent. But the first step is to make a good impression.
Use an ancient Daedric artifact to heal. How dare the very Ansu interfere with their holy work?
You there, come speak with me.
Die Waldfür.
Ah, my dauntless companion from the Clockwork City. Bounding from one mysterious realm to another, I see. Is this fortuitous?
Tää on mustien haltijoiden Indiana Jones.
I recently discovered that someone intends to auction off Mafala's chief artifact, the Ebony Blade. I hardly thought such a thing possible, but I leave nothing to chance. As soon as I began making inquiries, House Hexos cancelled the auction. I am the foremost authority on Daedric artifacts and the greatest mage of our era. So yes, I am quite confident they're trying to hide the weapon from me. A fool's errand. If you choose to assist me in finding the blade, I will pay you handsomely. Our first order of business is investigating the auction house. It's just there, near the Nereid's fountain. Gather testimony, correspondence, anything you can. When you've discovered enough, meet me in the market near the Shambles North entrance. Ha! Rest is a luxury the ambitious cannot afford. My business in the Clockwork City, while important, accounts for only a fraction of my grand design. I have interests in realms across the Orbis, including this one. On my person, no. I know better than to wander the streets of Fargrave with an artifact like that jangling around in my pocket. But it is quite safe. I gave Seal my word I would keep it out of the dangerous hands. I always honor my agreements. It is an artifact of the dread teacher Mephala. At first glance, it resembles a katana carved from obsidian. But I assure you, it is far more than a simple sword. It is the lady's malice in physical form, a life-devouring instrument of murder. Do I detect some suspicion in your voice? If we recover the ebony blade, I will do what I do with all the dangerous relics I acquire. Keep it safe. I assure you, there is no one better equipped to safeguard a terror like this.
Niin kuin se tekee, Ebony Blade taisi tehdä jokaisen sitä käyttäen berserkiksi. Tuon sivutehtävä vois myöhemmin itse asiassa tehdä. Joku pelaaja yrittää Nereidia tappaa. Ei onnistu oikein.
You don't have the shifty eyes of most gleaners. What do you want? Is that what this is about? Look, I just saw shipments lying at the drop sites. No one touched them while I was there. Not sure if that's still the case, so if you plan to acquire them for the gleaners, you better hurry. They hired you and you don't know about the shambles? It's not the safest place to visit in Fargrave, that's for sure. And it's full of rival gangs. If the errants don't find those shipments, then the Vanquished or the Invisible Web sure will. Because the shambles is beyond the grasp of the grasp. The stricter guards rarely go there. Most business of the sort the gleaners are involved in takes place in the shambles. Danger's the price of doing business, right? Look, I'm not a gleaner. At best, I'm an occasional informant, so I don't have the protection of their organization to back me up. I may have let slip something I wasn't supposed to, and the interested party may have heard. So yeah, I'm hiding.
Kerroksittainen tää kaupunki.
A mortal bearing coin and economic prosperity. You bring still air to my lava flow. Willing to fix mortal work. Jerkin and jacket alterations especially.
Why, Lyric, my dear, it would be an honor to assist you in any way I can.
An honor, yes. Mortals, show Wim the note.
Oh, darling, how good of you. Oh, darling, how good of you to once again grace my fine establishment. And I see that my information proved useful. You found Lyrinth. Another customer, satisfied and content. Now, what can Madam Wim do for you this time? While I have many, many talents, deciphering written codes concocted by fanatical mortals is not among them. Are you sure I can't interest you in something a little more luscious? No? Pity. Very well. I may know someone who can help you. You wound me. I thought we were becoming friends.
Nope.
Talk to Gazmod the Collector. His villa on the west side of town contains quite the accumulation of Dagonic paraphernalia. Something in his collection should help, provided you can catch his eye. You owe absolutely nothing, my darling. Lyrinth agreed to cover your cost for this bit of inside information. Isn't she a dear? Now, do tell Gazmod that we miss them here at the House of Whims. The place hasn't been the same without them. Oh, don't concern yourself with that, dearest one. I never ask for more than a client.
Niin, sielun voi pyytää.
There's no profit in that. When you have time, come back and let Madam Whim show you some of the wares that have made her the talk of Oblivion.
Epäilyttävää.
Go downstairs and rouse the anchorite. We'll want her with us when we talk to this collector. Meanwhile, I need to conclude our business here.
Conclude our business? How I love the sound of that. It makes me on Twitter.
I'm not here to play games, Whim.
But games are some of my favorite activities, dear Lyrinth. Come, let me show you what the House of Whims has to offer.
Jaha. Mielenkiintoinen vaihto.
Was Madam Whim helpful? Grab a drink and tell me all about it. I know I said I was going to help with the negotiations, but look, I don't want to talk. Some things are private, personal. You can't just walk up and demand I tell you my deepest, darkest secrets. Sorry. I agreed to talk about my name, my mask, everything. After you proved yourself, and you've certainly done that. When we first met, you asked about my name.
Kaikki liittyy
Madam
maskiin.
Whim gave it to me. I just arrived in Fargrave and everything before that exact moment was gone. All I had was this mask. I didn't know who I was or where I came from. Still don't. Just one of Madam Whim's little jokes. Means I'm a recluse, a hermit, living a life of seclusion behind a mask I can't remove. Sometimes it feels like memories are stirring deep inside my mind. When that happens, I need a distraction. Because it feels like there's a war raging inside my skull. A war I can't win. Better to drink or whatever. Push them back down to stop the pain behind my eyes. That's my story. At least as much as I know. Now, tell me what Madam Whim said. I've heard of the Collector. Has a villa on the west side of the city. Never met them personally, but I assume they're some sort of Daedra. Makes sense considering their influence and where they live. I'll meet you there. I'll finish this and meet you at the Collector's villa. It's on the west side, in a neighborhood that's strictly Daedric. So be careful, and watch your step until I get there. Where else was I to go? I assumed I awoke in Fargrave for a reason. I stayed to find that reason. And to see if whoever left me here would one day return. Regardless, the city and its people quickly captured my heart. Especially the mortals. Another label assigned by Madam Whim. Stay in her orbit long enough and you'll collect a dozen appellations. I can't stand to see anyone go hungry or be taken advantage of. I try to help and don't ask anything in return. Whim sees that as a weakness. Bits and pieces, but when the memories stir, the pain kicks in. If I try to focus on them, actually make sense of them, the mask burns. It hurts me, like it doesn't want me to remember. Someday, I'll look into those blank spaces, but not today.
Time to go, little mortals.
Joo, se on 1/4.
Try that with me and see how far you get.
apologies. You damage our reputation. We'd rather feed this body to a flesh Atronach.
This mask, it intrigues.
Niin,
It must become a part of Gazmod's collection.
Friend? Why don't you talk to the Collector?
It approaches. It dares speak. Will it offer the mask to compensate for such insults? It invokes Madame Wynn. Wants what belongs to Gazmod and Gazmod alone. It is presumptuous. Leave our game.
I meant no insult by having my mortal speak to you, Collector. We merely seek to borrow a Daganic codebreaker.
Since you're clearly interested, I'll allow you to examine my mask.
No, the Arox must not leave the gallery. But Gazmod will peer at its mask. This way, mask wearer.
Come, little mortal. We must find the Arox. Perhaps the gallery is beyond that door. This door must lead to the Collector's galleries. While Gazmod gazes upon the Anchorite's mask, let us step inside and locate the Arox of which the Collector spoke. There is more to the Anchorite than meets the eye. She survived the hazards of Fargrave before we arrived. I suspect she will continue to do so long after we have departed. Let us not waste the opportunity she has afforded us. The Collector let slip that they have a codebreaker called the Arox. We must find it. I have no idea what sort of relic an Arox might be, but if it can help us decipher the encoded note, we must find it. Keep looking, mortal.
Ehtoota. Tässä uusinta lisäosaa juuri pelataan isoon.
It appears not all of Gazmod's collection consists of relics.
It dares enter our collection. Does it not know we see through many eyes?
This collection is not at all what I imagined.
Melkoinen keräilijä. No.
In a big family, you have to know how to scrap.
Our collection is as dangerous as it is.
Mekaaninen alitti. Harus Reaperi.
Perhaps the Daganic relics lie beyond that door. This gallery contains but a single display. See what it is, mortal.
I am Aarox the Mutilator. Release me from this cage and
Se on Daedratti.
Aarox the Mutilator is a Daedrat of his word. At least currently. Release me and I will do anything in my power to aid your cause. You do have a cause that needs aiding, don't you?
Okei, teemme liittolaisen rotasta.
Sweet freedom at long last! Aarox owes you for this kind indulgence.
Mutilator.
You have set Aarox free. Free! Aarox owes you a debt of honor. And Aarox will pay it, no matter how long it takes. You have my word. But pray tell, who do I owe this enormous debt of gratitude to? Question not this pitiable form, mortal, for within it beats the heart of the terror of the Deadlands, the sunderer of the seven skies, and the warrior of the floating wastes. I am Aarox the Mutilator! And yes, I currently occupy this
Se on Tremore, joka on kirjoittu Daedratin ruumiiseen.
Taken in codes. Easy as
Ei hyvä.
ears of a bankin. Aarox is fluent in the many tongues of the Deadlands. No code can hide its meaning from the Mutilator's eyes. Speaking of eyes, we should leave this place before the Collector looks this way. I have already pledged to honor my debt to you. I will decipher every scroll in the Tower of Lord Dagon's Viscount Scrivener, if that is what you desire. I swear my fealty to you, mortal master. My life and my skills are yours to command. With pleasure, mortal master.
Joo. Semmoinen liittolainen sitten. Rotta.
Your pack is perfect, master. And I found the encoded note. I will work on translating it forthwith.
We have a Daedrat.
Oh, paus.
Now let's find the anchorite and depart.
Teleportaava peura.
Perhaps they will amuse us as our collection destroys.
Blood Knight. Mistä ihmeestä se on saanut Blood Knightin itselleen? Koska Lordit varmaan kyllä myy näitä. Ja ollaan vähän ehkä harvennettu ton keräilijän kokoelmaa.
Through the door and find the anchorite before the collector returns.
Hey, a little floating sack of eyes wants to make me a permanent part of their collection. Thanks. Let's get out of here and return to Madame Whim's. I like reading too, you know. If you ever need an excuse to get me something.
Sitten Lady Oikun luokse.
Your kind may call me a dark seducer, but I have very particular tastes when it comes to pleasure and pain. If I happen to see you again at the Bearer's Rest, perhaps I'll make some time to demonstrate.
Joo. Nereidit vastaa merenneitoja tässä maailmassa. Monet pelaajat pelaa niin kun nää lisäosat vasta paljon myöhemmin kun ne on ilmestynyt, niin ei oo niin paljon muita pelaajia juoksemassa jaloissa.
Back again? Why is it that mortals can't seem to get enough of what Madam...
Master! Arox has deciphered the note. Daedric troops from Burning Gyre Keep in the Deadlands are preparing to invade Fargrave.
Well done, Brat. Mortal, find out what else the note contains.
That Daedrat talks?
Did you hear what I said, Mortal Master? Volcanos Nokfrost prepares to send the most fearsome Daedric troops in all the Deadlands to this Nexus city. The destruction will be glorious. It is addressed to some despicable cur named Sister Seldina. A weak-sounding mortal name if ever I heard one. Why one of Mehrunes Dagon's most powerful warlords, Xerox, mind you, would deign to aid a weak-named mortal baffles me. Yes, right. Troops stand ready at Burning Gyre Keep. Send word when Fargrave's defenses fall, and the invasion will begin. Dremora blades will take the city, not your incarnates. That is every word, Mortal Master, whose name is in no way weak. Let us make haste, Master.
An excellent idea, Mortal. Use the Plaza of Portals to reach the Deadlands. We'll rendezvous at Burning Gyre Keep.
No, mutta on kyllä järjetön määrä porukkaa. No tossa noin. Voidaan ottaa tästä näin suoraan. Suoraan teleportti Deadlandsiin. Noin.
Off we go!
Tulostehtäviä. Jaha, tuli ja Tronakki pissaa tohon.
This place smells wonderful, Master. Like weapons after a battle.
What in oblivion was that?
Great power was just unleashed inside the keep. Hurry, mortals. We must see what's going on inside.
forays into the Deadlands tend to be short, and I usually avoid places like this. So let's be quick. Figure out what's going on, and get back to Fargrave as fast as possible.
This may be where Sister Saldina fled to after we disrupted her ritual at the Shambles bathhouse. Stay alert and be watchful, little mortal.
I hope you're watching.
You put too much faith in these abominations, Saldina.
With the Riven Cataclysm, Fargrave will fall. And then Nern.
No, harjoitukset menossa, jonkinlaiset kenraaliharjoitukset.
They chased you out of Fargrave.
I guess this is a fight now.
How many more failures must you endure, Saldina?
Careful, Nokraz, or perhaps I'll point my incarnate in your direction.
A blade bearer weapon. Here, examine it, mortal.
Mitäs?
It is the blade bearer's crest. This is not their fortress. Why would that broken sword be here? The blade bearers are not affiliated with Nokraz or his clan. Their weapon has no reason to be here, especially not discarded and so badly damaged. We must reach Sister Saldina and Nokraz and determine what's...
Joo, ehkä ne tekee muista Tremora-klaaneista, niin... No. Ei täällä muuta kuin osa tuosta Mehrunes Dagonin voimasta. Jäähdyt vähän. Missä? Tuolla. Irri on vielä kunnossa. Noin.
I wasn't worried. Were you worried?
Sorry.
You failed. Again.
You see failure, I see opportunity. Let's head to the Riven Cataclysm. I have a legion of incarnates to create.
We should leave too. Quickly, mortals, into the portal.
Glorious victory! Ferox
the mutilator must scratch furiously to celebrate.
Sister Seldina. Twice now, you helped me stop her from harming Fargrave and its people. Thanks for that. I'm not sure why Lyrinth chose us, or what she really cares about in all this. But as long as the cult threatens my city, I'll stand by you. Yeah, I heard. I may not remember who I am, or where I came from, but I found a purpose in Fargrave. That's what keeps me going. Protecting the city and its people. I won't rest until we stop Sister Seldina and the Order of the Waking Flame.
Such violence. Oh, Master, you make me so proud! You dispatched that incarnate abomination with a ferocity worthy of Aarox the Mutilator! And did you see the look on Knockfrost's face? Like a lava crab crawled up his nose and died!
We stopped Seldina's ritual and forced her to retreat to Burning Gyre Keep. There, instead of allowing her to summon Knockfrost's promised army, we defeated her incarnate. Now she's on the run, back to her Riven Cataclysm. That device intrigues me. And do not forget that Nirn is her ultimate target, little mortal. She plans to use Fargrave to sacrifice your realm to Dagon. But Seldina figured out a way to change the very nature of a Daedra. Truly change it. That bears further investigation. A question I must ponder. There are few places I can think of to hide such a device. None of them pleasant. And there are the Blade Bearers to consider. Why was their sword in the keep? For now, take this as a reward. That is the mortal custom, yes? Are you ready to resume our hunt for the Riven Cataclysm, little mortal? I assumed you'd want time to sample Madame Wim's delights, or explore the splendors of Fargrave. No? Very well. Let us go before more incarnates are unleashed upon the city. You are not wrong in your summation, but we are not without avenues to explore. Remember the broken sword hilt you found at Burning Gyre Keep? It carries the mark of the Blade Bearers clan. The Blade Bearers are a Dromora clan who forged their own path. They have no allegiance to Mehrunes Dagon, so I find it curious that their crest was found on a broken sword in the keep. I want to determine their involvement. With your aid, of course. The Blade Bearers are nomads, but we should find them at a settlement called Wretched Spire. That's in the Sever region of the Deadlands. We must talk to their kinreeve, Rincaius. I will meet you there. And bring Aarox. We may have a use for him. Rincaius is a kinreeve of the Blade Bearers, a clan of nomadic Dromora who bow to no prince. Like the rest of his clan, he is fierce but values honor. He takes pride in his martial skills and the status of his kin. Mortals hold no interest for him.
Kuulostaa mukavalta tyypiltä.
The Deadlands belong to Mehrunes Dagon, but places exist where his minions rarely go. Wretched Spire stands as a refuge of sorts, a settlement where Dromora without clans and escaped mortal slaves can eke out a meager existence, hence the name. As I said, the Blade Bearers are nomads who do not pledge allegiance to Dagon. As such, they roost in places that aren't under the prince's direct control. Wretched Spire is one such location. Rincaius' clan can usually be found there this cycle. He might be able to explain how his Blade Bearers came to be at Burning Gyre Keep. If Rincaius knows more about the Waking Flame's activity in the Deadlands than we do, perhaps he can tell us where Sister Seldina and her device are hiding. Then either Rincaius knows about the involvement of his kin, or he does not. If he knows, then he is an enemy, and we may learn something by questioning him. If he does not know, then he is a potential ally, and a powerful one. Friends, Hardly. That is a mortal concept. If I understand the idea, it implies affection, vulnerability. That you would attribute such an affiliation to Dremora is amusing. But I have known Rinkaias for a long time. We have never been at odds.
You are unlikely to find any of Mehrunes Dagon's servants in Wretched Spire, Master. Long ago, the Prince of Destruction commanded that no Daedra among his legions should look upon that place, or even speak of it. He was quite insistent. Never heard of him, but I do not trust him. I will watch him closely, Master. Sniff out his intentions. I have a keen sense of smell in this otherwise pathetic form. To be huge and powerful again, of course. But this form has some uses. I do not know. Lord Dagon wasn't in the habit of explaining his commandments. I heard the entire town was dropped into the Deadlands from someplace else. But I was never curious enough to investigate further. Sorry to have failed you, man.
Mielenkiintoista.
Our work is only these incarnates threaten not only Fargrave, but your world as well.
Kyllä, kyllä.
I just overheard one of the brass. Some mad scrids broke into Gazmod's collection.
Free ponders these tidings and finds them absurd. Gazmod would suffer no such reproach.
Doubt me if you like, but even Gazmod's eyes have blind spots.
Free rolls his eyes. Watchers do not have... Ah, Free realizes that you were speaking figuratively. Gazmod must take steps to repair his notoriety after recent events. Free imagines he will summarily obliterate all his sentinels, for a start.
Gazmod's got quite a few Periatic curios in his collection. The bilious censer, the toxic cruciform, the golden scab. If I could somehow recover any of these, how the blighted lord would smile upon me.
All right. Peryiteä palvoo tämä. Tehdään vähän sivutehtäviä tässä vaiheessa. Tai sivukampanjaa itse asiassa tarkemmin sanottuna.
Our first order of business is investigating the auction house. It's just there, near the Nereid's fountain. Gather testimony, correspondence, anything you can. When you've discovered enough, meet me in the market near the Shamble's north entrance. It is an artifact of the dread teacher Mephala.
Once, going twice. Sold to the Daedra in the front. Now, help yourselves to some refreshment while my associates collect the next items up for auction. Always a pleasure to see a fellow mortal. These Daedric types, well, they're all a bit creepy, eh? But look at me, babbling away. Sorry, quick tongue, you know, comes with the profession. Here for the auction? Nothing but first-rate goods here. The Ebony Blade. Well, that's, you know, not really my area of expertise. Daedric artifacts, I mean. Then again, there is a small errand that needs doing, a personal matter, you see. You help me with that, and my memory might improve. There's no need for that. I was I was just joking. A couple of Scoffins showed up not long ago, so they had to stow it away in the Hexos Gallery vault, in the shambles. Just don't tell anyone I told you, all right?
Orgrim huutokaupassa.
So, it's carved in the shape of a sundial. Clever.
That is so, yes. When a spell takes shape, the Magnus sigil will glow. Simple.
Ah, timely as ever. What did you discover in the auction house? Tell Vani that it's as I suspected, foiled by my own renown. Again. Intolerable. Well, there's no use dwelling on it. Did you find anything else? A key? Yes, that might come in handy. Can I just say how refreshing it is to find competent allies? A rare luxury, I assure you. Make your way to the shambles. There's a Hexos storehouse near the center of the district. Check there first. You needn't worry. I'll be along soon enough. A fair warning. The shambles is a lawless slum, full of far worse things than mortal indigence. Prepare yourself. The size, mostly. Those Hexos Noirs are quite clever, by Imperial standards. They operate a number of warehouses in Fargrave, but only one of them is large enough to contain a vault of any appreciable size. I suppose we'll find out soon enough.
What a sight! Oh, I can't wait to write home about this.
Iske äiti, tänään kävin Tuonelassa. Siellä oli kivaa. Okei, missähän se on? Okei, se on alempana.
Warded. No surprise. Do you have that key near to hand? Have a go at this. Well done. Now, let's see what they're hiding in there. There. The ebony blade. Claim it. As I suspected. Let's have a look at this so-called artifact, shall we? The fabled sword of leeches here within my grasp. I have my doubts. May I? Eerily sharp, masterfully etched, and completely fake. This is a forgery. A brilliant one, I admit, but a forgery nonetheless. While I respect this forger's skill, I cannot abide a glut of fraudulent artifacts taking up my time and attention. No, they're traders, not artisans. This is Daedric precision. I know a Spiderkith, Scrix. He's a small-time scoundrel who deals in stolen goods, counterfeit soul gems, that sort of thing. He might be able to point us in the right direction. He frequents the Wishbone, a tavern in the Shamble's northern alleys. Let's pay him a visit, shall we? He's a Spiderkith, which is to say he's a treacherous, deceitful sneak thief. Our personal history is contentious, full of double dealings and trickery. I've killed him more than once, but you know how these Daedra are. It rarely takes.
Niinpä tietysti.
For the usual reasons, simple greed and fear of punishment. Daedra may not die, but the process of reconstitution is not pleasant. I can also make business difficult for him. For Scrix, losing wealth may cause more pain than losing his life.
Fyr on ainoastaan niin kuin about 2000 vuotta vanha velho. Isoja luita kyllä. Se on tuolla. Ei ollutkaan ylhäällä, oli alhaalla. Tää tunnistaa, että me ollaan Dunmer.
Better scuttle off. Stomp you otherwise, and peel you off the boot flat.
Okei, eli Tremora jos kuolee, niin se joutuu pistämään itsensä kasaan, ja tää on vielä niinku vähän vaiheessa tää kaveri. Aha, nyt mä tajusin.
Ebony blade, huh? That's the mistress's hot cutter. Somebody hammering out fakes. Clever. Got no idea where it comes from. Don't care. Tell Fear he can find it himself. Threats, huh? With Fear, it's always threats. Scritty elf with big head and tiny wits. Fine. We'll cast a signal line for it. Finding ritual. Can find anything with it. After this, Fear pays you and you scuttle off. Final offer. Nothing. Secrets of the skein. You find out the secret, you die. Quiet. Alone in the dark. Still want to know how it works? Then you're stupid. Enough talk. Put the sword on the table.
A ghostly spider. A bit garish for my taste, but then we can't all be squinty, desiccated skein spawn, can we? Before you go, a bauble I purchased before we set out for the shambles. Keep it near to hand. I pray you never have need to find out. Suffice it to say that it's insurance. Enough talk. Follow that spider, and don't take your eyes off Scrix. Not even for a moment. Surely you don't require a chaperone. Scrix, while clever, is hardly a match for a warrior of your skill. No, I'm quite certain you'll be fine without me. I have other lines of inquiry to explore. I won't be far behind, I assure you.
Waiting on someone? Signal line won't stay fresh forever. Happy to stay here. Got better things to do than chase fake souls. Signal line will show you the way to the source of your...
Siinä se menee.
Just follow the spiderling. Simple. Keep going. Nearly there.
Traveling with you isn't a tour, it's a tale.
Se on hyvä, että Mirri tykkää tästä.
Use an ancient Daedric
Torches in skein row. Liable to set webs on fire. Stupid.
Selostusta riittää. Jaha, jaha.
This is the place. Answers behind that door. Artificer's table. See? Another ebony blade's right there. Have a look.
A second ebony blade. It appears Scrix was as good as his word. So far. Examine the sword. Perhaps we can determine the nature of this artifice.
Flies in. Like the lair fear.
Ja,
Potent magic, Scrix, but all too predictable. Quickly, assistant, use the sundial.
What would you like to talk about?
Light? What are you? Torches in a skein row? Liable to set webs on fire. Clumsy. Stupid.
Hypättiin ajassa taaksepäin.
This is the place. Answers behind that door. In you go. Artificer's table. See? Another ebony blade's right there. Have a look. Like the lair fear. You'll never
Webs,
leave.
use that torch quickly.
Stop it! No! Put it out! Lady, curse you!
Well done. A respectable attempt, Scrix. But it will cost you. Seems we're finished here. Meet me outside.
Onkohan toi tässä mukana vai ei?
That appears to be that. Exemplary work. From the looks of things, our web-brained friend here planned to sell several more forgeries.
Okay.
Now that we've apprehended him, the flow of counterfeit artifacts should grind to a halt. Now, I provide you with the reward I promised, and we part company. Scrix and I have a great deal to discuss. I'd invite you to join us, but let's be honest. Carrying on a conversation with him is exhausting. You have my thanks, Sarah. Farewell. You know, despite his simple nature, Scrix displays a rare gift for counterfeiting. I can think of countless applications for such a skill. Alas. For all their power, the Daedra lack one vital trait.
Skeletonkiin varmuuskopio tai kopio tai väärennys ihan vaan niinku niitä varten, jotka saattaisi olla kiinnostuneita siitä.
No, of course not. He'll squirm and curse and prevaricate until I banish him. But even a lying tongue tells some truths. He will give something away. He always does. I only wish the process wasn't so tiresome.
Ah.
Hope we find something interesting today.
You're back? That was quick. At least quicker than I expected. How did it go? Was your mission successful? I was worried that those were going to be taken before you got to them. The shambles is crawling with errants, Tremora, and Spiderkith after all. Here, take this for your help. Zafa, you're looking for... We're a group of mortals, yes, but sometimes some of our big...
Ketä tulee jopa kaksi palkintoa. Uutta settiä. Mielenkiintoista. Jaha. Seuraava. Täytyy jatkaa peliä huomenna.